Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter.
The day after deadly tornadoes in the Canton area, and now cleanup and recovery has begun.
You're watching KTK in high definition. This is Live at 5.
Hi, folks, and good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us today for KTK's Live at 5. I'm Neil Barton. Starting off with this news, several East Texas cities hit by severe storms last night. 3 known tornado touchdowns, many left without power, and some families lost their entire everything. Our meteorologists track the storms ever since they started yesterday. The first thing we'll do right now is check in with meteorologist Brian Alonzo and our weather center. So, Brian, today a beautiful day.
Absolutely, a totally different story from what we were talking about this time yesterday. We're seeing now temperatures in the 60s and even low 70s across so much of the area. And because of that front, that storm system has gone on through, we're still seeing some high winds, especially being reported across parts of the area. Winds over 15, maybe 20 miles an hour. We even have some higher gusts than that, almost approaching 30 miles as you head towards Palestine. As far as our forecast for tonight, we'll see those winds decreasing. We're going to go mostly clear and chilly with a low temperature of 47, but tomorrow, definitely another sunny day with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Neil.
We appreciate that. Continuing coverage right now, damage in the Van Zandt County area. At least 4 people are dead, around 50 people are hurt. Earlier this day at a news conference, authorities say one of the areas hit by multiple tornadoes just on FM 1255 off I-20. Daniel Pierce has been working that story all day long. So, Daniel, what did you see?
Well, of course, Neil, our entire crews have been out there. Roads were basically lined with snapped trees, bent poles, and debris as far as I could possibly see off of FM 1255. Now, while there is damage, things could have been a lot worse. The rustic barn just off the road was hit by a tornado. This just hours before a high school prom was to take place.
Like I say, it was just a real loud, very scary moment.
A night dedicated to making high school memories becomes truly unforgettable.
We can replace stuff, but there wasn't anybody here that even had a scratch on them, so we were lucky.
Saturday night, Reagan Sumner, owner of the rustic barn in Canton, was at home just a few hundred yards away from the venue.
Kind of looked in the sky to the south, and we could see twisting over the tree line.
He says one tornado ripped through his storage building at his house around 4:45, missing his home by inches.
We didn't even know that twister was supposed to be, because we didn't get the alert till right before. The barns up there got all destroyed, and we came down here, and that's when the second one came in.
At the venue, preparations were underway. Around 20 people setting up for the upcoming Edgewood High School prom.
5 or 6 kids with their dates, some parents, some babies. They were taking prom pictures.
Just a couple hours before the prom was supposed to begin, a tornado hits. Everyone there now taking cover as the second tornado tore through his property, hitting the barn directly. Kids and parents hiding in bathrooms and closets.
Me and another dad, went out and closed the barn doors. We got in this one right here. I was in this one, and the pressure, I had my back up against the door, but when the roof went, because of all the insulation that was blowing around. I've been in the fire department for 24 years, been in house fires, but I've never heard or felt anything like that.
In the aftermath, the only thing standing, the rooms they were sheltered in.
I thank the Lord, and I know God was with us last night, that we didn't have all 80 or 100 kids in the barn.
And at the venue, there was still food that had been set out for the prom just sitting there. And as you can imagine, the floor just basically covered in insulation as well as water. Now, Sumner tells me the National Weather Service will be assessing the damage on his place. And as you saw there, they had helicopters surveying from above. And they're going to be out there at some point this week, walking through and determining the size of the tornado that did tear through his place. Now, the impact this will have on Mr. Sumner. He and his family built the rustic barn to give them a place to basically enjoy in his retirement. It has been up for about 2 years. They built it. Another thing they're working on, getting all of their cows back. He's missing about 100 head of cattle, which have been scattered due to the storm tearing down his fences. And now, if you do plan on driving out there, one thing that crews are stressing is there are cattle and there are still trees on the roadway. So please be careful if you are making your way out that way. Reporting live, Daniel Pierce, KTK News.
And just a few of the many incredible and tragic pictures we've had come into our newsroom. Video now by a local news chopper in Dallas, going over several counties here in our area, including Henderson County and Van Zandt County. Crews are still out going to property to property looking for people who may be missing or wounded. And right now, once again, 4 confirmed dead and 2 people still unaccounted for this Sunday afternoon. And a picture sent to us by Christy Ronchetti. She says she and many others were crammed into a bathroom shelter. The first tornado went over them. She also says there were the Canton trade days there, and pretty much today that trade show has been canceled because of all the bad weather yesterday. Vendors were told late yesterday to please just go home. We talked to some witnesses in the Canton area who witnessed yesterday's tornado, and they say people are out helping cut down trees and picking up personal belongings scattered in pastures. Here is what they saw.
He said, "Look at all the birds that's in there." And I said, "Hey, birds, that's trash." I mean, you could see just big rows of just debris and stuff.
It was shocking, really. It was just kind of in awe about the power and the strength and the debris and just the massive strength of it. It was, you could hear everything snapping and breaking and just the wind was blowing so hard. It was pretty bad.
Yes, it was. Authorities are still going door to door doing searches. As they say, please be patient with the phone service. Service right now is very spotty, mentioning 5 huge transmitting poles were knocked down yesterday. By the way, shelters for animals and people also being set up as well. More on that later on. Even in the face of disaster, East Texans stay thankful. We always do. A fine example of that, the people in Eustis hit very hard by yesterday's storms.
No, me and a group of friends, we were sitting on the porch last night, seeing the thunder and lightning. Wrecked us out. But to tell you the truth, we're blessed considering. Because just up the road up there, that house is to the slab. So thank the Lord that we still got a place we can call a home.
So you put things in perspective, you know. These are things that can be replaced. People can't.
We're lucky we walked away with our lives, and we have insurance, and can't ask for more. We found wedding rings and wallets and pictures, but homes can be replaced. But faith in God and community.
We've been blessed with some volunteers. Heck, I don't even know most of their names. They just come in, they help get in the truck and go on down the road.
Lots of friends, lots of family, relatives, neighbors, just incredible people helping us.
Isn't that something? Still to come now on KTK's Live at 5, continuing coverage of the storms from last night. Our meteorologist now breaking down how those storms formed and why they hung around so long. Please stay with us.
Yes. Okay, this is your weather mic check. Weather mic check 1, 2.
Test 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Is my shot set? Yep. Just asking. Just asking. I was just asking. Okay.
Hey, just a quick question. This is for Brian and Scott, so you might have to bring their mic up too. Okay,
Yeah.
when I'm done, do I need to go to a radar scene?
I was going to advance it to him. I don't know. Are you coming on camera to where?
Yes, I will have an on-cam tag.
Okay, then
I will have an on-cam tag.
That'll give us time to hit the advance button.
Okay, and from that point, am I tossing to Scott? Okay, I will toss to Scott. Okay.
Okay.
And Scott is showing the pass, right?
The times. I mean, yeah, the 4 individual tracks, and I'll just show where those tracks were.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's on weather 1, right?
Weather, yes, weather 1, yes.
The deadly tornadoes on Saturday in the Canton area resulted from one key ingredient. It had been a limiting factor all day long until Saturday afternoon. Meteorologist Marcus Bagwell has been looking at this all day long, and he tells us how things got started and why they lasted so long.
Yeah, once things got going, they certainly really started to intensify. Now, there are just 4 key ingredients that are needed for severe thunderstorms, and we'll show you exactly what these are. A frontal boundary or an upper disturbance, gulf moisture, wind shear instability, also known as daytime heating. Now, on Saturday, the ingredient that was missing for the severe storms was sunshine. Despite us here in East Texas warming up into the upper 70s and lower 80s for most locations, we still remain rather cloudy, and the cloud cover kept the severe storms threat from being amplified in East Texas throughout the bulk of Saturday. As we look at the satellite sequence from Saturday, there you can know that we have mainly cloudy skies, but look out to the west. Cloud breaks in central Texas near Corsicana and also back near Canton and Athens too. This is where we started to have a little bit more sunshine along with the cold front. And as we started to see temperatures warm up into the mid 80s, even lower 90s in parts of North Texas, that just meant that storm development was very likely to occur. A cold front started to enter into North Texas, and that's where we started to anticipate storms to develop there, but they actually developed over Navarro County especially, and then lifting off into Henderson County and eventually coming together into the Canton area also, and that's where those storms really started to erupt ahead of that cold front that began to move through, and that's why we had the strongest severe storms that moved into the area. Now, the sunshine, while we love it after cloudy and dreary days, in a severe weather situation, it certainly can cause havoc and be bad for the atmosphere. Severe storms were bound to develop where we had an area of sunshine occur in our western counties, leading to major destruction, and that was the western areas that had never seen this before, and one of the worst tornadoes likely on record here in the East Texas area. A very dangerous and unfortunately a deadly situation that happened on Saturday. More on the track of the storms that came through. We'll turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Chesner.
Thank you, Marcus. Yes, the National Weather Service has now determined there are 4 individual tornado tracks. The first one at about 4:15 was very brief, just southwest of Grand Saline, less than a mile. So that was just a very brief touchdown. The second one was kind of on the north side of Canton, and that was also very brief, and that occurred a little bit after 5 o'clock. Now, the third one was a much longer one, and that was the Eustis one in northwest Henderson County. Came through Eustis and then on up into Van Zandt County, all the way to west of Canton, stopped pretty much along Interstate 20. So that was a long one, about 40 minutes on the ground for that one. And then finally, the longest track was the biggest one. It came right up over Canton and probably did most of that terrible, terrible damage. And that started from south of Eustis, came right up across Canton. This started about 5:40, went all the way till about 7:30, almost an hour and 50 minutes. Incredible. Came right across Canton, made it all the way, and also did damage to Emory. Now, they're still trying to determine whether it was a continuous track. It may have been, or there may have been a break or two in it, but it's certainly the same storm, and it was on the ground a very long time, did damage in Emory, and of course the tragic damage in Canton. And now we're going to turn it back over to meteorologist Brian Alonzo for the rest of the weather.
And now, your KETK live Doppler Skywatch forecast.
And thanks a lot, Scott. Boy, a lot of different, 24 hours makes here across much of East Texas here. We did see those storms that we were tracking yesterday. And of course, as we've just been mentioning, those storms did turn severe as well as tornadic across parts of the area. And now we're looking at a whole lot of sunshine. We're starting to see the back end of the storm system here. In fact, the actual center of the storm is up further towards the north, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. But take a look at temperatures across the region right now. We're seeing 68 degrees in Mineola, 66 in Gilmer. As you head towards Longview, they're sitting at 68 degrees and even 70s as you head towards deep East Texas. So temperatures across the region right now, we're also dealing with the 70s, but it gets a lot more chillier as you head a little bit further up towards the north, especially as you head towards Oklahoma City, where they're sitting at 51 degrees. And winds are all coming in out of the west here right now. And it looks like later on this evening, we're going to see those winds coming in out of the southwest, but they are going to be decreasing later on this evening. As far as those dew points, we had high dew points. If you were watching us yesterday, we had dew points in the upper 70s So now we're seeing those going into the 30s. We're talking about a whole lot of dry air across our area, all thanks to this cold front that came through. So now here's the center of the storm. It's situated up towards Kansas and even northern parts of Oklahoma, continuing to spin, bringing some snow showers on the back end of that because we still got some cold air behind this, but we have been seeing more showers and storms out ahead of it with that cold front that continues to move off towards the east here. But so here's what's going to be happening over the next couple of days. That storm system moving up here towards the north and east. Our next storm system will be approaching by Wednesday, giving us about a 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms. But then it looks like as we head later on in the week towards the weekend, high pressure is going to be dominating our weather, and it looks like it's going to be a fairly quiet week with the exception of Wednesday when we'll have those showers and storms coming through our area. So here goes that front. It is moving on out. High pressure dominating our weather over the next couple of days. Then that storm system will be approaching once we get towards Wednesday, when we expect more showers as well as thunderstorms. But tonight, we're going to be going with mostly clear and chilly with a low temperature right around 47 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Then over the next 7 days here, we're going to start to see a whole lot of sunshine as we head towards the Monday and Tuesday time frame. But it's definitely going to be, like I said, chilly again tomorrow morning. We'll see those temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. But then as we head towards Wednesday, this is when we expect those showers and thunderstorms, rating the odds at about 60%. It'll drop temperatures into the mid 70s, and it looks like we're going to be staying into the 70s over the next several days after that towards Thursday and Friday. We could still have some lingering showers early part on Thursday, but a whole lot of sunshine as we head towards the next 7 days here. We will see those low temperatures also in the 50s, so we're definitely seeing some cool airs as well. Also going to be on the windy side as well as you head towards Deep East Texas, especially on Thursday. For the latest weather information, you can head over to our website, easttexasmatters.com, or follow me on Twitter, WX Pro Brian.
Coming up next on KTK's Live at 5, a look at the Red Cross operations in the Canton area, and we'll learn what we can all do to help those affected by those horrible storms. You're watching KTK's Live at 5.
Well, I'm thinking she can talk to me. She can pan, and I'm talking about the destruction. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check. Yeah, he's good to go. And then I'm gonna say, and I have here with me. Okay. And then when she pans over, no package. Yeah, she'll just pan over when I'm talking about the destruction, and then I'm gonna say, and I have the son of the homeowner here with me to talk about some of the damage that we've seen, and then she'll come back to me when I'm introducing you.
Several families are at a loss right now looking at what happened during last night's storms. KTK's Kara Rucker right now meeting up with one family member in their story. Kara.
Neil, 3 houses were on this piece of property before a tornado made a path and completely caused so much destruction. You can go ahead and take a look to my right, the destruction that was caused. There are trees that were completely taken down. 3 houses were up here, and now you see the wood, you see the cement blocks all down. Now I have with me the homeowner's son, Dylan Schofield, who can tell us about what it looked like before this destruction and before the tornadoes hit last night. Dylan, can you go ahead and tell me, what did this property look like before yesterday?
Well, I'll tell you, there was, all the trees that were here, luscious green. You couldn't see, we have like 33 acres. You couldn't see past those acreage, and now you look at it and we can see now the destruction for miles and miles. It's pretty devastating.
Right. And I saw y'all picking up some of the pieces. I saw y'all do have some photos and stuff. Can you tell me just what it's been like out here with your family trying to pick up the pieces?
Well, so yesterday or last night, whenever the tornado hit, we were told that you know, all 3 of their houses were destroyed, but they were taking shelter at the neighbor's house, and so we really weren't able to do anything yesterday. But today, I mean, the light came out. You can actually see what was going on, and I mean, we've been picking up the pieces little by little. We've been finding our passports, safes, photos, memories, just certain valuables, just certain things to make it feel like it's still home. And I mean, it's just been a full day process. We actually just finally got our driveway cleared. We had about 4 trees down, and
and you're not the only one. It's like I've been around this neighborhood and a lot of people are starting to pick up. It's going to be a long process, and I'm just glad that you've been able to find some photos and some memorabilia. I appreciate your time with me, Dylan. And coming up tonight at 10, we're going to have the full report of what went on out here, and we talk to the homeowners and get their reaction. Stay tuned at 10 for that. Reporting live in Canton, Kara Rucker, KETK News.
In Emory, people are still dealing with the aftermath of yesterday's deadly tornadoes. KETK's Delano Henry has that story.
Members of St. John the Evangelist Church gather for service outside, which is something they never thought they would do.
I didn't think there was any way that they were going to hold Mass today.
Member of 10 years, Sherry Matalik says she's thankful to be alive. She's one of the 45 members who were attending a dinner for graduating seniors when a tornado came spiraling down over the church around 7 Saturday night.
Our small world has changed. The people were still the same, the building's not.
Sherry says she got a call warning her and everyone at the church to take cover. Church members say they ran to this side of the church 5 minutes before the tornado hit.
We could look out and the wall was gone.
A man kneels and prays in front of the sanctuary. The sanctuary's roof completely blown off. Only one wall remains.
Now, on first look, it's pretty obvious that this church is a total loss.
The church says despite all, it's their faith that keeps them moving forward.
And we were blessed last night. We were being watched over. I truly feel that.
And that was Delano Henry doing the story there. According to hospital authorities, Christus Trinity Mother Francis Health Park Canton is without power because of last night's storms. Right now, they can't even accept any new patients. Crews expect it's going to be days before the power gets turned back on, so they say this: if you had a previously scheduled appointment, it's going to be rescheduled for another area facility. Now, the Lindell Clinic has set up a donation site for materials to be received, those including who need water, tarps, as well as plastic bins. The East Texas Builders Association is asking for our help with donations, looking for new or used tools to help with the cleanup process. On Facebook, they requested this: work gloves, trash bags, rakes, shovels, and saws. Also collecting water, snacks, hygiene products, and money, and asking any donations, please drop it off at their Longview location. And we have some good news for those who are still in need following last night's storms. Throughout East Texas, KTK's Christina Ballard shows us how the Red Cross partnered with one church to provide shelter and food.
The American Red Cross stepping in to help people in Canton, setting up a shelter at the First United Methodist Church, giving people who lost nearly everything basic supplies to keep going.
We're taking the pizza and water out to family in the country because there's no electricity.
Throughout Sunday afternoon and evening, crews giving out food, water, and everything in between to families. The American Red Cross also offering shelter, clothes, and showers. The church, like much of the area, without power. But they say all are welcome. Many people are dropping in to donate things and asking how they can help.
How they can donate both in-kind goods and financially to help their neighbors and be of service in any way. So it's really, really just goes to show the strength of community.
Richard Fisher drove from Rockwall to drop off 40 sets of pillows.
It's the Christian way, you know. I mean, if you really look at the premise, this is to help people in need and you get it back in the future. It always comes back.
The American Red Cross helping people with basic needs, allowing them to deal with the long road ahead. Reporting in Canton, Christina Bauert, KTK News.
And this note to Christina's story there, the 2 other shelters are set up in Emory and Eustis. More than just East Texans responding to the damage last night, the Texas Rangers also reaching out through their Twitter account this morning. The Major League Baseball team asking their followers and help donations toward the cleanup efforts here in East Texas. U.S. Senator from Texas Ted Cruz releasing a statement this day. He said this about our storms, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers are those with the families of those who lost their lives and with those who were injured yesterday evening. And we pray for the quick recovery and that all those affected can heal," end quote. Also reaching out on social media, Congressman Jeb Hensarling giving his condolences to those affected with a message saying this, quote, "My thoughts and prayers are with these Texans this morning after last night's devastating tornadoes." We'll be right back. We'll look at the rest of the forecast as we slide out of the weekend toward the work week. You're watching Live at 5.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Weather is so much better.
Absolutely, from what we're seeing. But we're also getting some news from the National Weather Service, some preliminary reports indicating now that 2 EF3 tornadoes from the storms, especially towards Van Zandt County, especially the Canton area, especially rains, and 2 EF0s. We're going to talk much more about that coming up later on tonight at 10, so you definitely want to tune in for that. But as far as our forecast this evening, as Neil was just mentioning, whole different changes here, but it is going to be chilly as we start out tomorrow morning. We're going to see those temperatures going into the mid to upper 40s, and it's definitely going to be on the sunny side, and it's going to be sunny all afternoon, but we're going to see those temperatures warming up to right around 78 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And over the next couple of days, we're going to see a whole lot of sunshine as well until we get to Wednesday, when we have another storm system that'll be approaching with about a 60% chance for some showers and storms. And some of those storms could be lingering into the early part of Thursday, but it looks like we'll start to see decreasing clouds as we head towards Thursday, but a whole lot of sunshine for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and temperatures in the 70s and 80s next weekend.
Brian, thank you, and we'll see you tonight at 10.